Hello and welcome to the Seeley Stable Museum. In this part of the virtual tour, we will be showing you the types of exhibits at the Seeley Stable, like the different types of carriages, the yard, which housed horses and buggies, along with some really fun and historic artifacts that were used during the late 1800s and early 1900s. As you see, we have pictures of Albert Seeley and his wife Emily, along with other portraits of the actual home and area around Old Town San Diego. We'll be walking through the museum here in the Seeley Stable, which shows you all the different kinds of carriages and also the different kinds of artifacts that were used during that time. Now, some carriages were built larger and more for comfort, whereas other carriages were built for the long hauls that were taken, along with the heavy weights that would be put into them. And then there were even carriages that were built for speed, whereas some people who had more money than others would like to have the adventure to go off on these carriages and have high speeds and an extremely fun time on them. Now, this stable is a two-story stable. The bottom floor was usually the home of horses, buggies, and the workers who would put the hay in out of other carriages coming in. And the second story was actually where most of the hay was kept for when people come in who want hay. In this carriage right here would be the Studebaker farm wagon. Where this one is Vale's park wagon. Also another little exhibit about a saloon and the different kind of activities that would go along with that saloon. And another example of a different kind of carriage there. As you see with the different colors, it was definitely built for someone who was a little more eccentric. And here we show the Wells Fargo wagon. Now, Wells Fargo and Albert Seeley came together and actually formed an agreement to where they would contract Albert Seeley and his associates to go from Old Town San Diego to Julian up in the mountains, because that is where their gold rush actually struck in the late 1800s. So that wagon would go to and from the two areas to deliver mail and to accept mail. And also there were many different artifacts in the museum. Some of them were equipment used for horses. Others are just really interesting artifacts such as horseshoes and different kind of equipment used to actually ride the horse and have them carry different kinds of loads. And here we come to the horse exhibit. Now, this is not a real horse, as you can imagine, but this is really what they would try to put with the horses. There's different saddles here for use for different purposes, and all the equipment that you see on the horse was necessary in the time period to have them carry heavy weight, like the carriage or stagecoach, and different items to help the horses go faster. and it was a farming agriculture. So people who did farm around the area on ranches, they would stay in the stable, and this is an example of a renter's area. And the next stop that we have is the Seeley Yard. Now the Seeley Yard housed a lot of different carriages, the horses roaming in the back when they weren't inside the stable. As you can see, this area is very large and tons of room for horses to roam, although they were probably very organized. And it's just a huge area for different activities to go on behind the stable. And one important aspect of the yard is actually that windmill. Now that windmill wasn't always there, but there was a well there, and it was very intensive labor to be able to pull up that water all the time. Now, someone thought that there has to be an easier way to do this, and that is where the advancement in technology comes through. Thank you very much for coming with us on this tour of the Seeley stable, and I hope you have a great day.